Oh, I think the first probably 5 practices, I think there's always a transition, getting used to snapping a football. But he's done well. Donnell obviously last year was one of our best players up front, and the guy works hard. At the end of the day, it's important to him, and I'm glad he's on our team. He's got a bright future for his career. He's got to be able to play guard and center if he has aspirations of wanting to play in the National Football League.
As you were looking at your candidates after Allen was gone, what about Donnell said he's a guy who can make that move? He's the guy that I want to give a shot to.
Well, I think I owe it to all of my players that play inside, whether it's Zach, Cedarius Hutchinson, Donnell. I owe it to all those guys to make sure that they can snap the football. Someday when they're trying to make a professional football team, they're going to be asked to play multiple positions. And, the first time they try to do that, I don't want their experience to be, here I am trying to make the team at the highest level, and I've never snapped a football in a game or played it in practice. We go out and play on Monday Night Football, my first game against the Vikings. We only got 7 linemen dressed.
Right.
So you got to be able to show that you're versatile, and that's something that I feel like that's my responsibility as a coach while they're here in college, to make sure they have a comfort zone. So next year we'll have Zach being able to play center, Donnell, Cedarius Hutchinson. Talked with Coach Muschamp the other day about having multiple guys, Eric Douglas, Chandler Farrell, Hank Manos. You got to have a lot of guys who can play center so we can, have the success here that we want to have.
What did Blake Camper and the other guys at right tackle show you to make you guys comfortable moving Zach back inside?
Blake's a guy that, came here, and I think by his own admission will tell you that he didn't work hard. He didn't do what he needed to do as far as investing in the weight room. I think he was probably more of a guy that just came in, did what was asked maybe, and then kind of went on his way. This off season, he's been in the weight room every day, on his own, every Saturday, every Sunday, doing the things he needs to do. Thus, you see him playing much better. Campers jumped in last year and played in the Tennessee game, played in the Arkansas game, and you would never know that we had 3 starting linemen out. That's a compliment to him and Cedarius Hutchinson about some of the guys that, I always tell them, you're one play away from being in the game. Our standard's not going to change. Our standard here is we expect to dominate the line of scrimmage and whoever's in. And we're not going to sit back and make excuses that we had 3 starters out. You guys know how many different starters we had at O-line last year. And if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. And that's a compliment to our players as far as buying in and doing the things they need to do, not just while they're here in the building. Anybody can do what's asked of when they're in the building. What about when you're away from the building? Are you getting 8 hours sleep? Are you taking care of your body? Are you eating? Are you eating enough protein? Doing the things to become a really good football player and try to win the SEC.
Coach, you talked about the injuries and you talked about the word dominate. With everything that's gone on the last couple of years, I know it's been tough to be able to find that consistency. Is some of the words that you've been talking about with it going into next year, is it just as simple as dominating consistency, or is there any other?
I think anytime you play on line of scrimmage, it's a battle up front, and it all starts up front, whether it's on offensive line or defensive line. And I think we've continued to improve our line of scrimmage here. I've only been here 1 year, but I've seen significant improvement. That's a compliment to Coach Muschamp, Coach Thompson, Coach Mike Peterson, Dillman, strength coaches. So it's a work in progress. We're trending in that direction. Our arrow's up. This is a positive environment, and positive things are going on. You guys see it taking place right in front of your face. But I'm not going to put a prediction on when we're going to be dominant on the line of scrimmage specifically. But that's our initiative and our goal.